How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about some Vortiger. Now, my PC rank is rep 12 with them, but on here I believe I'm a rep 4 or something with them. So, we'll get into some of this. I haven't played them for a minute, so I'm going to go over a couple things and then I'm going to talk about them. Alright, let's start off with some Vortiger. So, a couple of his basics here. You have a dashing heavy attack. Same as Warden, where it will land top attack. You also have a dashing bash that you use X for, guaranteed light right afterward. It only guarantees you a light. There is nothing else that you can chain off of that. That is the end of the string. That is all you'll be able to land, is what I'm trying to say. Alright. In addition, when you land a light attack, his heavy is actually undodgeable. Now, you see a lot of people cancel it into bulwark stance. To get into bulwark stance, you'll press down on your right stick to enter the stance. Now, while you're in stance, you can block everything, but you will be guard broken out of it. Now, you can press heavy attack, and that will give you the unblockable that a lot of people use as a mix-up. You obviously can cancel this and, you know, go for a light, go for whatever you want. You can also press the left bumper to go into his counter. This will counter, you know, anything. Uninterruptible, it counters. Unblockables, it will also counter, but you need to predict it, which makes him a strong and difficult to use-ish character. On his heavies, he still has that same heavy finisher that is undodgeable. A lot of people will cancel it into the bulwark stance just because it's, you know, fast and unblockable. So, getting into the bread and butters of what you're going to end up doing, you're going to see a lot of Vortigers do his light attacks. Now, here's the reason behind this. Like I pointed out, you can dash forward and get the shield bash, right? Well, if you land a light, you can then press X and shield bash again. And this is very difficult to deal with on console. PC, a lot of people will dodge it, which sometimes you can kind of just guard break them. A lot of the times you won't be fast enough to do it, but you get the gist. Now, a lot of people after this will either go in, you know, to the stance and go for the heavy, go for another mix-up. Because what's really strong is if you land this, go into stance, cancel, into another light. I mean, that's 3 guaranteed lights, 15, 17, and 15. That's pretty damn good. It's 47 damage. So the other thing he can do is his zone is actually a bash as well. That also guarantees a light attack, which you can also, right after your light attack, cancel into the unblockable. So, we've gone over his basics. His bashes all guarantee a light. If you get a light, you're guaranteed a bash into another light. On heavy, you do not get a bash. God forbid, that would just be too damn strong. Trust me. Alright, so moving on into a couple of his other abilities here. On chain starter here, you can press X, and that will lead into another bash. And this bash actually has a bit more range than the other ones. Once again, guarantees a light. A lot of bashing, all guaranteed lights, making him a pretty well-rounded character. He's very, very strong with a lot of his moves here, as you're beginning to notice. Now, the only other thing we need to talk about here is the bulwark stance. So, what we're going to want to do... Okay, forgot to mention. His light attacks have superior block. I don't know... I can't use it on this guy, I don't think. I'm going to give it a whirl, and if it works, it works. Alright, so it does work. It does work. As you can see there, it acts as a crushing counter style, except it can go in any direction, making it for a very, very strong tool. And just like the other one, immediately after being able to do this, you're guaranteed that bash. Same as before. Last but not least, we're going to go over his wonderful ability here that makes him the character he is. That's it right there. 30 damage. And like I said, this can be done on any move. The one that I found personally the funniest, I made a whole music video of me doing this, testing, you know, I think I labeled it what can be flipped. The funniest one is you can actually flip Shinobi full distance when he throws his sickle. You could, Vortiger somehow snags the sickle and pulls him all the way in and lands it. It's pretty crazy. Now, the other time that this is very, very useful is if you're in a gank and people are throwing non-stop unblockables. When you see an unblockable coming, quickly do it. You can get into it very quick. And if you flip one person and another person attacks while you're flipping, it'll actually flip all of them. It'll just start flipping whoever's trying to attack you. So you could end up getting 30 damage on almost everybody. So don't forget that. Try it out. Other than that, there's not a whole lot else to say about the character. Sometimes, obviously, you want to mix these kind of things in. Like I was saying, not a whole lot. He's very strong due to his bashes and the ability to cancel them. I know when I played him, this happened a lot. You'd see a lot of people using it. I tried, you know, doing other stuff, but inevitably you find yourself coming back to his bashes. I mean, his bashes are very, very, very good. And this attack comes out faster than you think, especially when you start to lose health quickly. So if a Vortiger ever gets lucky on you, for instance, let's say you go for a dodge right here, and he hits you with that, sometimes you just don't react. Like, you're amazed that you got hit, and you just don't react well to that. Or you see that coming, and he goes for... The big one that you need to be careful. This is a Vortiger thing here that you need to be careful with. Is when they do this, a lot of the times, they'll go for guard break after, or upon doing that, they'll go for a bash. Now, their best bash is also one of their long-reaching ones, which is the zone. Upon canceling that, they'll throw that out, and that reaches far. You need to be very, very careful about that. And if you're wanting to main Vortiger, don't forget that you can do that. Other than that, everybody, there's not a whole lot else to say on Vortiger. He's a pretty straightforward character with a pretty straightforward game plan. Bash you into oblivion and mount your face on his shield. I still love the character, even though he is very bash heavy. Although I also like Centurion, and he's really up in your face heavy. Just mix up with him, you know. I mean, as you can see here, he has the ability to overwhelm a character if he really wants to. Other than that, everybody, I hope you all enjoyed, as always. And if you learned anything new, leave it down below. If I inspired you to use the great Vortiger. Oof, I don't know about calling him great. But, anyways, thank you all for watching. And I will see you all in the next video.